Okay, now Future Ready ASEAN platform. We have to thank Microsoft and ASEAN Foundation. If not Empire Code, we will not be here too. Okay, the training for Future Ready ASEAN has been a big thing for us because it involves providing free computer science learning for everyone. Now, what is free computer science learning? Now, throughout, for example, you can teach computer science at your school, at your center. Now, the Future Ready ASEAN platform is the ownership of ASEAN Foundation. What we wanted to do was, we wanted to take all the free learning globally that Microsoft has into one platform that will be good for everybody to learn and to follow different tracks based on their ability and based on their interests. Now, the 4 pillars that you see on the website, and I notice a lot of you have been logging in. So let's say we were to go to Start Learning. Okay, if we go to Start Learning, you will notice 4 learning tracks. Now, the 4 learning tracks here, so Digital Citizen, Dream Team Player, Data Wizard, and Social Innovator are Microsoft's learning tracks. Now, what do they mean by Microsoft learning tracks? So what do we mean by that? Digital Citizen. Digital Citizen helps to teach students to get the computer to talk to users. So when you are doing what we call the markup languages, HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, you are creating, for example, web pages or front-end applications to get the computer to talk to the user. When I open a website, like I open a website here, you can read it straight away, right? So you know what the computer wants you to learn. Now, so that's part of Digital Citizen. Digital Citizen is also the track that we are doing for ASEAN Foundation throughout the entire program. Now, what does this mean as well? This ASEAN Foundation program is across 10 countries. Okay? But 8 countries we will be teaching in. For example, like what you are learning today, we are teaching in the 8 countries. So the 8 countries as part of ASEAN is Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos. The other 2 ASEAN countries are Singapore and Brunei. Now, so we are not going in to teach in the 2 countries, but they are involved in what is most importantly the competition on the 3rd of December. Okay, I'm going to talk a bit more about the competition, but you're also here to understand how to empower your trainers and students for this very big Future Ready ASEAN competition. Okay, and I'll talk more about that later. Now, with Digital Citizen, the next one comes Dream Team Player. Now, what is Dream Team Player? Dream Team Player is all your Microsoft Office products. Word, PowerPoint. Now, as teachers, you know these. Now, these products are great for teachers as well because it's easy for you to encourage your students to know Microsoft Office. Now, when I graduated in the late 90s, early 2000s, if you were to have your CV, you will put down their Microsoft Office skills. Okay, for those of you that are maybe born in the 1970s, you know that. In part of your resume, you put that down. Now, times have changed. When students graduate, they are expected to have some Microsoft Office skills. Whether it's very simple, like using Outlook emails, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, students are expected to know. So when people look at CVs and resumes nowadays, what are they focusing on? What computer science languages do you know? Because every single industry needs computer science. Whether I am working in a bank, I need to digitalize my bank. I need computer science. Whether I'm working for insurance companies need it. Whether it is accounting firms need it. Engineering companies all need computer science. They've needed it for decades. They need it even more now. Okay? Agriculture, they need computer science too. And I will talk a little bit more about that later on, how important Python can be for our farmers. Now, the next one too, if I were to scroll down on this, data wizard. Has anybody here heard of big data? Yes? Okay. Now, as part of a housekeeping rule as well, just very quickly, I do have Theo here at the back. So Theo from Empire Code, Indonesia. He speaks fluent Bahasa. So if you need anything too, please raise your hand. He can come around and help you. The second thing is, I don't always like talking to myself. Okay, so I do enjoy it. If you ask me questions, please feel free to raise your hand and stop me anytime to ask questions. You are our master trainers. We're here to make sure you know how to train on. So please let me help you too. Okay, so I will take any question, and no question is too silly. All right? Now, with data wizard, big data. So we all know what big data is. And we know how important data is nowadays. Right? What do people use data for? For many things. One of them is generate more revenue. You understand your customers. If you understand your customers, you know how to advertise the right product to them. What else can data do? Data can help inform people about natural disasters. If you know within that particular district is a natural disaster zone, and you know whether the population in that district, what do they use? Do they use phones? Or is it radio? How technology advanced are they? You can help them. Announce to them to get out of certain areas in time, for example. What else can we do with data? So I talked about earlier, our farmers. With climate change being a huge thing, right? In Singapore, for example, I can tell you when I was young, 30 years ago, if the temperature was 32 degrees, because Singapore is very humid. You have a beautiful weather here, by the way, in Yogyakarta. I love it. So nice. Now in Singapore, we don't have that kind of weather. It's very hot because we're right by the equator. So normally in June, the weather will go up to 31 degrees when I was young, and we will find it so hot. Now it's 35, 36. So it's climate change, right? What happens in climate change? If you're a farmer, what are you using? A lot of pesticides because you have no choice. If you need the food. Now with a growing population, we need more food. What's the population in Indonesia? 300 million, right? Vietnam, when we were there, they are, Philippines and Vietnam, they're both about 100 million now. Can you imagine? ASEAN alone has 660 million people. What's happening in ASEAN though? We're all building buildings. Urbanization. But where's the food to feed the people? We need nasi. What else do we need? We need all kinds of crops. We need vegetables. Now in the US, they are talking about changing agriculture to building farms, right? We're not ready yet. It's a lot of money to do that, correct? So what do we need to do? If you're a farmer, if you had data for a few things, if you had data to know which crops were causing more pesticide use, you can help change global warming. If you are a farmer and you had data to tell you when is a good time to start planting, because farmers naturally go by instinct, right? They roughly know. But if we can give them more accurate data, you start planting from this day, you finish by this day, they can be more efficient and they can possibly grow even more food for all of us. Okay, so all this is very important. Okay, so with data wizard, that is the biggest thing. Learning for that. Now the last one, social innovator. So social innovator is all about creating applications. Is using C#. Okay, so in creating apps is also a big thing. In Japan, we get involved in teaching for Japanese students as well that come to Singapore for exchange programs. Every country is different, and for them, everything they do is on an app. In ASEAN, we still use a lot of computers. For them, they do a lot of the work on the app, right? So we have to cater accordingly. And the younger generation is also moving to apps. Everything is an app, right? You want to talk to your younger generation and tell them something, you probably have to use Instagram. You can't email them a link anymore. So we have to cater for our younger generation too. And how we can help this is we have to teach them how to create the technology that they are using. Because we want to make students creators of technology, not just consumers of technology. Now, the last thing, and I want to make sure there are two other things I really need to talk about this whole program. The first thing is, it is for everyone. The competition that we have end of the year is for ages 15 to 35. It's ASEAN's definition of youth in the region. But if you have students that are younger, if you have your mother or your father or your grandparent that want to learn some computer or digital literacy, this track here. Now you'll see this track here on the website. It is a new learning from Microsoft last year. It starts from even what is a computer. Because not everybody knows what is a computer. So please encourage this as well. So this can be the start of a learning track to help students too. Okay? Now the last thing is, you'll notice with the website, there are no drop-down menus. Yeah? You'll notice too that there are a lot of landing pages. Now the reason for that is because people like us that can see, right, we are so used to quick shortcuts. But for people that can't see, they can't use quick shortcuts. So for somebody that's visually impaired, if they are visually impaired to the point that they don't have sight, they cannot use the screen reader to see the drop-down menus. So this website has been built for accessibility and fully tested. Because when we test even for people that are visually impaired, you'll be surprised. When they go through their screen reader, they hear things that the website they think has that we don't see. So something that is not visible to our eyes now may be there in the HTML code, which they see, for example, or hidden at the back, okay, of the screen. So what happens is we have fully tested it. We have made sure that it's good for anyone that's visually impaired, and we would like your help in empowering this community as well. Okay, because we want to move the community of people that are visually impaired that end up doing jobs like masseuse, or say, for example, laboring jobs, into a computer science role, because it is safe for them. If you are visually impaired and you are doing work behind a computer, it's also safe for you. You're not going to get into accidents. So this is a very important community for us as well. Okay? Any questions for me? No? Has everybody logged in to the site? Yes? Okay, shall we try to log in together quickly? Now when we go into the landing page first, before you log in, you will see this. And it is just an overview of the courses. And like I explained, it's also for the visually impaired to know. That's one reason. The second reason is we need you to log in before you start learning, because you get stars and badges Now, what are these stars and badges? Let's log in together. If you've not logged in yet, let's do it together. So a lot of the training is hands-on, and so we make sure we do together with you in case we need to help you debug anything too. Okay? If you don't have, does everybody have a login yet? Yes? Yes, okay, so we can log in together now. This is me and my profile, and these are the badges that I have collected. Okay? Now, how have I collected each badge? In case you are wondering, and what might be helpful is, let's go to the toolkit. Does everybody have the toolkit? We can use it as a reference, which is a fantastic reference. Now, we look at this toolkit here. Okay, you will notice on page 8. Okay, now, let's say I complete 2 stars, beginner course. Okay, we see page 8 here? Yep. Now, we are going to be walking through the toolkit a lot more this afternoon. But what I need to tell you, later on, But what I need to tell you is, for example, if I finish Minecraft Hour of Code, I get 1 star. If I create a LinkedIn account, I get 1 star. And when I mean finish, means we finish the video, we come back in and do the test. And when we pass the test, like with a 70% mark, we get a star. Okay, now when you get a star, when you finish getting the number of stars for that course, you get a badge. Okay, so we want to encourage our students to get stars and badges. And what they can do with the badges, when they collected a badge, here, they can download their badge, save their badge, because it's all about badges nowadays. Like if you go on LinkedIn and you go on LinkedIn profiles of Microsoft engineers, they collect badges now, right? Because it's great to collect a badge. It's easy. You can load. You can show everyone. If you have a certificate, certificates are also important for employers. But you can't really show your certificate, right? You don't want people to see your full name and put it out there, right? So badges are great. So badges are good for students to download, complete, and share. Okay? So definitely, I still have 2 more badges to go. Okay? I just wanted to show you what it's like if it's empty. So all of you should be seeing empty right now. Yes? Okay, so you're going to start collecting badges and you're going to get students to collect badges. Now, for younger students, for example, they may not be able to collect. For example, if my student is 12 or 13, LinkedIn is probably too young for them. But encourage them to at least collect the star for Hour of Code. Now, what is the most important thing about the website learning? We have made the beginner learning tracks very easy. Do you know why is that? Because we want to encourage students to have less fear about computer science. The biggest hurdle for computer science is people are scared. A lot of people are scared to learn. So the beginner tracks are easy to help students know it is not that hard. And once they have the interest, they can go on to all these tracks as well. Okay? Okay, great. Now, the next thing is, with the website, what I need to show you is all these resources here. Now, these resources are also on the toolkit. Throughout this morning, we're going to go in for a break soon at 9:45. But basically, what is going to happen is, apart from the teaching of these tracks here on how to use the website, please reach out to us or anything else. The toolkit has our resources too. After this, we'll be actually doing LinkedIn together. Okay, after we do LinkedIn together today, I'll be going through a little bit of the toolkit, and then in the afternoon, you're going to be learning HTML5 and CSS. Okay, now a little bit more housekeeping rules. Does everybody have a LinkedIn account? Before we go on our break. Yes? Does everybody have the LinkedIn app? Okay. If you don't have the LinkedIn app on your phone, please download it. Now, in Indonesia, you have two LinkedIn types of apps. You have LinkedIn and LinkedIn Lite. Download the LinkedIn, not the LinkedIn Lite. LinkedIn Lite is still owned by LinkedIn. It's supposed to be for teachers and students if they have very little space on their phone. Okay? So download the main one. That is what we'll be doing right after the break. And then tomorrow, please remember to bring your toolkit as well, because you're going to need your toolkit tomorrow. Okay, so we're doing a lot of training on the toolkit. Now with the toolkit too, for example, we have all these resources like Get Engaged and Find resources here. Now Get Engaged is everything to do with what students can get involved in a yearly basis. Now in computer science as well, for students that are learning computer science, being involved in events and competitions are very important. For example, if they want to get a scholarship, okay, they need to show what they've done and they need to show that they have participated in events. So that is very important. Now, has anybody had any information on the competition? Because I have some time now, I can talk about it too. Okay, the competition. On December 3rd in Jakarta, at ASEAN Secretariat, we will have a competition where we have one finalist representative from each country in ASEAN. That is the plan at the moment. There will be one student representing their country from 10 ASEAN countries. And they will be flown into Jakarta with their mentor. Okay, this is a very big competition. So we got one from the 8 ASEAN countries I mentioned earlier, plus Singapore and Brunei. Every country will definitely have one. Now when they arrive at ASEAN Secretariat, they will arrive in Jakarta on the 2nd of June. The competition will be on the 3rd. On the spot, they will be told what they need to do. Now what is very important is for students to be selected as finalists for the competition, they will have to do some HTML5 and CSS. So there's a project involved, which is why what you are learning tomorrow and tomorrow morning is very important for the competition. Okay, if you already have computer science experience, that is okay. I will guide you in the breakout session tomorrow morning. We'll be doing some breakout sessions tomorrow, and I will guide you how you can do a little bit more. So if you already know HTML5 and CSS, it's okay. Just take these projects, and remember these projects are very important to teach the students for the competition. That's the main thing, because we will select from the project, and I will talk a little bit more as well later about that. Okay. Another thing with the competition is that we have not announced the final information for that. We will only announce that in August. So please look out on all our social media. We will also be sending you an email on a competition announcement that you can forward on as well. Okay, other things to do with the competition also include, if you are between the age of 15 to 35 here and you are a master trainer, you're not allowed to compete in the competition. But you can have a student to compete in the competition. Because we know we have some trainers here that are below age 35. You can, however, be a mentor for any student that you're teaching that is joining the competition. Okay, all submissions for the competition will also be online. Okay, normally I get more questions on the competition during the breakout groups, so we can do that tomorrow as well. Yeah. Okay, so the requirements are age 15 to 35. The requirements are they have to be from ASEAN.
Okay.
So if I have somebody from the USA or Germany.
So they must school from school, or they must school, or
They don't even need to be from a school.
Okay.
Computer science is from everyone. It is also for any student that learn on their own. I'll give you, for example, Empire Code. We just hired a developer in Vietnam.
Okay.
He learned computer science on his own when he was 13.
Okay.
Right, so he managed to do, and now he's 21. He does not have a degree in computer science, but he can do a lot of projects. So we are not putting the educational level as a requirement. One requirement is ASEAN nationality. So if they are from another country but they live in Indonesia, no.
So because I have a student, but they don't, not study in a formal education. So I have a Islamic boarding school. They learn about programming. So maybe they will join the competition.
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
please have them. Empire Code, we ran another competition last year for Asia Pacific with Microsoft and Lenovo. 20 countries. Our winner came from Semarang. Okay.
Nice.
Second winner came from Singapore. The third winner came from New Zealand. That winner learned to code on his own. Because he never learned coding at school. We did Minecraft coding. Okay, so, and he was still in high school, for example. Now, when we also did that competition, we did not check anybody's background. Our winner from New Zealand was sitting on the autism spectrum. And we didn't know. We only found out from a news article after that. So it just goes to show how everyone can learn computer science if we give them opportunities. So apart from age 15 to 35 and nationality, we don't have those entry requirements. However, we do have disqualification.
So I can access this website. I don't know. So I need the information about what they will create. In the competition, mobile application or a web app.
It will be a website.
Yeah,
which is so what you are learning today and tomorrow morning is the big hint for the competition.
Or just front end.
Yes.
Okay, mobile response maybe, yeah.
If it can be, it would be great, but it's not part of what we're teaching yet. The reason why we are doing front-end web development for the competition is because we want it's the best way to teach computer science. People can see their direct output straight away, so it does not scare students away. So we wanted something easier, and then also the thing for it is the idea.
Design or idea or what?
So all will be included in the scoring.
Okay.
Yeah, so there'll be scoring. If we have, and we don't know yet, more budget to include an extra student to represent each country, we may make it a teamwork, we may, or we may fly 2 representatives per country. But that one we don't have confirmation yet till end of August. Okay, so right now, let's take it as individual. Now the other thing, so as part of it too, for example, when we set out our final requirements for the front end work, we will make it very clear on the website. Okay, so as teachers, you will know how to guide your students. But definitely guiding your students for front-end web development and the digital citizen learning track is important for the competition. Okay, this track is important. Yeah, they don't need to do this, okay, but they need to do this. Now we will also, because when they come in to do the final competition on December 3rd, they will do on the spot what is required. Okay, so the finalists, but because they're already finalists, we are confident that they can do some things. Now, we may not, I cannot confirm now what we will ask them to do on that day itself, but what we'll ask them to do, it will be required in the competition itself. So say, for example, if we say to teachers and students, please make sure you finish the beginner of Dream Team Player. So that will be the requirement. So when they submit their final project to us online, they will also have to submit the proof. So they will submit the badges to us. We will take their email address and we will check in the database that they have completed the stars and badges to not be disqualified from the competition. Okay, so the competition will have in August some guidelines as well.
Where is the place in the final?
Jakarta.
Jakarta. Okay.
Yeah, at ASEAN Secretariat itself. Yeah.
Not in Singapore.
No.
So yeah, free holiday.
Is it Jakarta because ASEAN Secretariat headquarters and ASEAN Foundation headquarters is Indonesia.
Oh.
Yes.
Very nice.
You are the biggest Southeast Asian country, ASEAN country.
Yeah.
So the HQ is here. So everybody else gets a holiday. But of course, the winner can come from anywhere in Java. The finalists can even come from Bali. You know, when we had the Asia Top Quota, we didn't expect the winner to come from Semarang. We didn't, it was amazing how the word of the competition spread all across Indonesia. We had students coming in from all across the world, even. So even though we say Asia Pacific, we had people coming in from the US and Europe, but we couldn't let them join because there were the requirements. So please don't worry, we will make sure we make it clear to you what the requirements are, and we will make sure also that we do our checks to ensure that it's fair. Yeah? Okay, now we're going to go for a break. I believe there's some food outside for you, for a little snack. And then if we can all come back here by 10 a.m. Okay? We're going to start LinkedIn. It's really fun. Okay? And then we're going to all get to know each other better. Okay, so I'll see you back at 10 a.m. Thank you very much.